You would think I would have talked about a LEGO game before. LEGO games. You can't go wrong with them, unless you can. Most people from my generation owned at least one LEGO game at some point, and these games are awesome. While they can be simple and for the most part pretty easy, these games always have a certain amount of charm to them, and I haven't played many that I didn't have fun with. And look, with the amount of different movies and shows these games are based off of, everybody has a LEGO game for them. And these games are always filled to the brim with content, with tons of extra objectives and levels, and in newer ones, there are a bunch of side quests in the open worlds. But this brings us to one of the most interesting LEGO games, and one of my personal favorites, LEGO Dimensions. This game was released closer to the end of the Toys to Life craze, and in my opinion, this is probably the best one. The game took all of the licensed characters located within LEGO games and mixed them together for one of the biggest crossovers in gaming history. They had classic LEGO characters like Batman, but they didn't stop there. They got franchises like Adventure Time, Portal, Ghostbusters, and tons more. But today we are here to talk about one of the coolest crossovers in the game, Sonic the Hedgehog. Look, I'm a pretty big LEGO fan, and I also have an issue. So seeing these two things come together for a video game and getting actual Sonic-themed Legos to go with it was awesome to see. This character pack comes with an exclusive level, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so before we get into the actual level, there's an open world area that you get with the character as well. But, yeah. I think this is because I'm playing on the Wii U version, so maybe the performance is a little better on other platforms. But for now, I'm just going to skip this. So starting with the actual level, the performance is actually stable here, so that's nice. And we start off with a title screen reminiscent of Sonic 1, until we get thrown right into, you guessed it, Green Hill Zone. As much as this annoys me, I'm going to give it a pass this time because this was LEGO's first Sonic crossover, so not including one of the most iconic stages would have been weird. So getting into the actual gameplay, it's pretty interesting. While it obviously still feels very much like a LEGO game, there are small tweaks that make it feel a bit like a Sonic game as well. The stage is designed much like an actual Sonic level, but with parts where you can stop to break objects and build things like in LEGO games. Sonic is also faster than other characters and has the homing attack and spin dash, which all do a great job of making this feel more like a Sonic game. So after getting to the goalpost, you get to go to one of the first special stages in the game. So there is one of these stages after every main section of the level. And I'm not the biggest fan of these. It's trying to be reminiscent of the Sonic 2 special stage, which is cool and all, but you don't even have to collect a certain number of rings, so you're sort of just running through it for a cool reference. But it's not as cool after you do it 7 times. The turning is also really slow in these sections, making it hard to avoid obstacles, and on top of that, a lot of things will just come out of nowhere, and then you get stuck in these chains of getting hit over and over again, and it's just not very fun. It's an overall very small part of the package though, so I can move past it. So after getting through the first level, we get our first story cutscene, and I like these. Like most of the modern games before Frontiers, it is trying pretty hard to be funny, but the difference is that the writers for this game are actually somewhat funny. So Eggman has acquired the Keystone device, which he can now use to travel through different dimensions, and now wants the Chaos Emerald Sonic has as well. He kidnaps Sonic's friends as a way to make a deal for the Emerald, until they all swiftly escape. And the main thing I don't like about these cutscenes is that these characters aren't actual figures. I would have loved to see some more Sonic minifigures, and I think that these designs work perfectly. But the only Sonic figures we really have are the 2 Sonic figures and whatever this is. So after this, Sonic goes through a portal and we head to the next section of the level. This part is themed around Emerald Coast from Sonic Adventure. The level just sort of throws you right in after the cutscene, and I died before I even realized what was going on. But after that, this level was a lot like the first in that it was a fun combination of LEGO and Sonic gameplay, and this was definitely my favorite part of the level. Everything is designed pretty well here, and I had a good time. There's even a rail grinding part, which is pretty cool. It just has a little trouble sometimes. There's also this glitch where Sonic spikes just sort of grow, and they look a lot like the Sonic 06 model. And I'm sure that this will be the worst of the glitches. You also get to build one of Sonic's vehicles in this stage, and it's his car from the racing games, which I thought was pretty neat. So after a pretty boring fight with Eggman, we get sent into the next area where we get a cool boss. Eggman uses his rift to summon the 2 Mecha Sonics and Metal Sonic at the end, which is really cool. Mecha Sonic Mark II does not get nearly as much love as it should. I think this is one of the coolest characters from the classic game, so it's nice to see it here. The boss fight itself is just alright, but it was a cool moment nonetheless. So after this, Eggman accidentally opens a bunch of rifts, causing references to fall out, and once Eggman and Sonic go through the rift, a familiar puddle of water comes out of one of the others. So we then go on to the next level, and oh. Yeah, so this is where things really started to go downhill for me. First off, this part ditches the idea of it playing like a Sonic level and just feels like a very basic, regular LEGO level. The whole area is supposed to be like Metropolis from Sonic 2, but it's a cube in space for some reason. This area doesn't even look like Metropolis, it's just a bland mechanical area, which doesn't help the fact that this area is just filled with really easy yet time-consuming puzzles. You eventually unlock Tails' plane, and that's where things get really bad. You're flying around the big box, and there are so many enemies around you that you can't even tell what is going on, and I was constantly getting hit by random enemies that you can't see coming. There's also this one part of the level where you have to build this mechanical platform thing, and the moment I did it, it just killed me. So after this, there's another plane section, and I was doing what I did last time, and soft locked. You know what? Let's just move on. The next part is Marble Zone from Sonic 1. This one isn't as bad or glitchy as the last one, but it still doesn't really feel like a Sonic level like the first two sections did. The puzzles are a lot better in this part though, so that's a plus. I also like how we get a modern recreation of Marble Zone, as the level hasn't gotten any love since Sonic 1. Omo Chow is also here, and they give some very helpful hints. So after this, Sonic steals the device from Eggman and reunites with Knuckles, Shadow, and Big. Big then describes the location of the next Chaos Emerald, Sonic has PTSD, and we then head on to Labyrinth Zone. In this one, there's water and spikes that trap you in a hit animation until you die. There was also a part where I summoned Sonic's best friend Bill Murray to destroy some gold that was used to build a portal to Adventure Time. After this, we head to the final section, which takes place in the Death Egg, where we fight the Death Egg robot. Sonic then actually references the fact that Sonic games have been losing creativity.
Well, anyone?
So after defeating the Death Egg robot, Chaos just sort of shows up out of nowhere. He was teased earlier on, but how he got here or why he is so big without the Chaos Emeralds is never really explained. But I can forgive this because the boss battle itself is really cool. Chaos absorbs the device and uses it to switch the element he is made out of, which is a really cool idea for Chaos since his thing has always been water. Sadly, most of the elements don't really change up his attacks all that much, but I'm willing to give it a pass just because of how much I like the concept. After a little while, Amy gives you the last Chaos Emerald, and you go supersonic. It's kind of anticlimactic because the boss doesn't really change, you just do more damage. So after defeating Chaos, Sonic retrieves the device, saves Amy from falling, and flies into the rift where the level abruptly ends. I guess Shadow, Knuckles, and Big are still stuck in that other rift. So even though the level got a little worse near the end, I still had a good time with it, and just the fact that it was made was cool enough for me to say it was worth buying. The first two levels were especially cool as it felt like they were actually trying to combine LEGO and Sonic gameplay. But for most people, is it really worth it? No.